Hi, my name is Marion Frank, and I'm the director of Epinicion, written by Cianja. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you like what you see, you can support us by following us on social media and subscribing to our YouTube channel. You can also support us by becoming a patron through our Patreon website, which is linked in the description below. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy Epinicion.
Oh, tell the soldier we will meet on the wrong side of the war. And oh, tell the soldier I will find him, be he rich or poor, dug into the edge of every city. It's a pretty sight to shed your tears. Don't fear me, though it's a shame you're buried here. Hold still, that's a serious head wound.
What's happening? Who? Ah, God. What's happening to me?
Lay back, try to relax. Something struck you across the brow and you've bled quite heavily. Try to move slowly.
Who are you?
You can call me Taphos.
How did I get here?
You stumbled off the battlefield before you collapsed. I've dressed your wounds as best I could, but you can't go back to the fight.
I feel strange, like I'm floating. Oh, what's happening here?
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting you like this. I'm in the middle of a burial service. Would you join me?
Who was he?
I don't know. A soldier.
You don't know him?
No.
Why are you burying him?
Don't you think he ought to be buried?
Of course he should be buried, but why are you burying him?
Who else will, if not me? Who will bury him, who will mourn him, and who will give him his final rites?
Doesn't he have a family or friends? Doesn't he have someone else who knows him?
Oh, yes, I'm sure he does, but not here. They're hundreds of miles away, across an ocean, settled into bed. They don't even know he has died. And when they find out, what are they to do about it? They'll put a headstone over an empty grave and they'll mourn, and this body will be left here to rot and eaten by scavengers.
Except that you're here. His brothers in arms, they won't bury him?
That depends, but for this man, no.
Why not?
Well, first they would have to win this ground, which they may never do. Then they would have to find him after it all, and he's stumbled off the open field and into these woods. He's lucky to be buried here at all.
You don't think they'll win the ground?
Who? Your side or theirs?
He isn't. Good. Same uniform.
Does it matter? He's dead.
I don't know if I could trust you if you were burying one of them.
I don't have a side in this war. Soldiers from almost everywhere have found their way to me, and I have always helped them. Whether it be helping them get home or helping them move on. Don't you think every man deserves a grave? Speaking of which, here, take this before I forget to give it to you.
I can't take your money.
You might find that you'll need it. We're quite a long ways from anything. It'll help you on your journey. Besides, I always give a coin to any lost boys I find up here.
You mean to say you come up here a lot?
Yes.
But it's a war zone.
I seem to find my way to war zones quite often. Or really, they find their way to me.
Do you do this on purpose?
No, but soldiers like you find me more often than you would think.
Look, I'll take your money, but let me help you finish this burial properly. It's shallow. I can still make out some of his clothes and almost his face. If I could just... I'm sorry, I don't mean to invade your burial. For a second, I thought that I'd seen...
It's all right. Stay. Help me finish. The grave is shallow, you're right. I don't always have a lot of time for digging. There's going to be more bodies soon and more digging, but for now it's only him.
I hate it. This isn't the way for a man like him to be buried. Or any man, really. It's no fault of yours, of course. You've done more than you possibly owe, but it just makes you think.
What do you think at a time like this?
Well, it might be selfish, but all I can think about is how I don't ever want to be buried like that. Shallow grave, wooden headstone, no mourners except two total strangers who don't have anything to say about my life. I mean, he doesn't even have a coffin, he's just a body in the dirt. He doesn't deserve to be buried like this.
You're right, he doesn't. But if we weren't here, he might not have been afforded the decency of a burial at all.
I'm glad that you buried them. All of them, even the guys on the other side. I'm sorry for making a joke of that before.
I found that it's too easy to get caught up in hatred and lose your humanity. You know, I wouldn't be out here burying boys in the woods if you didn't all hate each other so much. This man could be buried at home with a marble headstone and a procession of mourners, and a deeper grave and a coffin.
I feel like we should say something, but I can't think of anything to say.
If you don't have words to give him your silence instead. Pray to any gods you have. Think over your own life. Celebrate it like you would this man. It's time to move on.
So, what do we do to bury him?
The rites have already begun. Just stay with me for a little while until it's over.
What is that?
They're lilies. I'm going to plant them after I finish burying him.
It doesn't seem like much.
You know what I love about these plants? They come back every year in the springtime. When no one's here to honor this grave, the earth herself will still put flowers on it.
He's going to have a lonely grave, isn't he?
Yes, he will. Is that a tree?
No, it's, well, it's supposed to be a torch. It seemed appropriate. Can I use the shovel for a moment? Shit. I put it in upside down.
Leave it. It's fitting. your bandage is skewed. Come here, let me check the wound. Do you hear that? They're singing an Epinicion.
A what?
It's a song sung to celebrate a battle and mourn the dead. It means the battle is over.
I've never heard anything like that before.
I'm not surprised. It hasn't been sung for centuries.
If the battle's over, I should get back.
You can't leave here.
No. These are my tags. Why are these my tags? No! No! No!
Oh, tell the soldier man to fight for his own and toss a coin. To the soldier boy, he'll need money for the ferry, for he will be buried a long way from his home. Will someone tell his mother that I mourned for him, that I dug him here, this grave? Will someone tell the soldier man to look into the grim and to face the price that is paid? The shadow of a boy marches in the tracks of the broad-shouldered soldier man, with boots on his feet and a gun on his back, and blood on his face and hands, the treading boots, the tireless march. Dig up the wounded earth, she wraps them in her tired arms and honors them for their worth.